Hi, and welcome to Cybersecurity Career Options and Exercise. Today we're going to talk about some cybersecurity entry-level careers, how you can get into those careers, and then at the end we're going to have an exercise so that you can learn more about cybersecurity careers on your own. Before we get started on the careers, we need to understand what cybersecurity is in the first place. So cybersecurity is defined as the practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks. I describe it as an umbrella that covers everything that's connected to the internet. So whether that's a smartwatch or your smartphone or your laptop or your smart fridge or smart microwave, whatever it is that's connected to the internet, cybersecurity is how that is protected from hackers. And now that leads us to our next question. Why is it important to protect these systems? Because from communicating via email and instant message to traveling, banking, shopping, and even school, nearly every aspect of our life revolves around the cyber world. Because the internet is so widely used, protecting vital information in the cyber world is not only our personal responsibility, but a necessity to preserve our national security. There are three main parts of cybersecurity that are very important to know that any basic class would teach you, and this is the CIA Triad. So confidentiality is the C, I is for integrity, and A is for availability. In confidentiality, this refers to the idea that you are the only authorized user that can access your data or your programs or your software or your social media. It refers to the idea that no one else can get into that stuff without you allowing them in. And this protects your data from people messing with it and from it being deleted. And that moves us into our next segment, which is called integrity. This refers to the actual data itself. The data has to be non-manipulated, it has to be unchanged, it has to have no errors, no bugs. And this integrity tenet refers to the idea that that data has not been manipulated or changed in any way, so that when you need to access it, you have the ability to access the data that you want and you need. Then the A in the triad is availability. Availability refers to the idea that you can access your data as an authorized user from anywhere and from any device or from any computer. This idea is about allowing access when it is needed. So if you need personnel records in a database, then you would have to access those, and them being available to you is the availability factor in the CIA Triad. Now, there's one more important piece of this puzzle. Instead of making a triangle, they probably should have made a square, but whatever, they did not include this one, even though I think it's vitally important, and it is non-repudiation. So non-repudiation is a legal concept that is widely used in information security and refers to a service which provides proof of the origin of the data and the integrity of the data. As you might imagine, without this crucial addition to the triad, there would be no point in having cybersecurity. If you can't identify the source of the breach or the threat, you can't fight against them. Now we can talk about how to start a career in cybersecurity. There's three different main pathways that people take: 2-year programs, 4-year programs, and technical schools. 2-year programs are programs that you can find at community colleges, like St. Louis Community College. They have associate's degrees. These teach you some basic courses outside of your focus, but mainly just focus on whatever it is that you're studying, and you don't have to take many other classes in addition. That's very different from a 4-year program. A 4-year program, you have your main focus of study, and then in addition, you have to take science and math and history and literature and politics and whatever else might be part of your curriculum for your school. It makes you a well-rounded person. Nothing wrong with going to a 4-year program, But at the same time, four-year programs do not always turn out the people that are the best at being cybersecurity professionals. Last are technical schools. There's one here in St. Louis called Rankin. Rankin eliminates all of the extraneous classes like science and literature and math, and you just study the technical requirements and technical abilities and technical skills that you're going to need in order to do that job. In our area, St. Louis Community College is a two-year program. Four-year programs can be found at UMSL, Fontbonne, Lindenwood, McKendree, Webster, etc. And then technical schools would be an example, or an example of a technical school would be Rankin Technical School. Now, we have a different method of approach to getting into cybersecurity, and we call that an apprenticeship. An apprenticeship is pretty straightforward. In order to join the program, you have to be 18 years or older, have a high school diploma, and be authorized to work in the United States. At that point, we complete assessment tests to check your basic reading and writing and math comprehension and make sure that you're able to do a cybersecurity job. We also do a background check. If you get into cybersecurity, you'll find that basically every job everywhere has a pretty significant background check, sometimes going back further than 7 or 10 years. And you'll also find that if you want to work for the government in cybersecurity, you're going to have a secret or top secret clearance, which can take anywhere from 1 to 2 years, depending on who's sponsoring you. Then last, we complete an onboarding interview. This interview is to allow us to get to know the person better so that when an apprenticeship does open up, we're able to fit that person into the right job with success according to their culture and personality type. So when you start a career with us in cybersecurity, there's 2 different pathways. We have our Level Up program, which is for people that come to us with very little cybersecurity and computer science knowledge or none. It's an 8-week course, 2 nights a week for 3 hours a night. In that course, you go over workplace readiness skills. Those are soft skills. So things like knowing how to shake a person's hand, look somebody in the eye, how to do presentations, how to conduct oneself in a meeting, how to write proper business emails, all that kind of stuff. And then we also help them with their resume and their LinkedIn profile to get all that up to date and looking good. In the course, they study the IT fundamentals. This is a course put on by CompTIA, that's CompTIA. They're a well-known certification provider, and one of their basic certifications they provide is called IT Fundamentals. And this provides people with just the basic knowledge of how computers and networks and the internet work and how it all goes together, and it prepares them to start on the ground floor of an entry-level position. At the end of their 8 weeks, they do a deep dive into the NIST framework. NIST is the National Institute for Standards and Technology. They have put out a book that's really thick, probably thicker than a Bible, that goes over how you can make yourself or your company as cyber secure as possible. So the students will take the NIST framework and apply it to a former breach that's happened in the past few years and show how the NIST framework could have helped to prevent that breach and how the framework would have responded to the breach as well. At the end of the 8 weeks, the participant in our course is given a voucher for free. The course is also free. They're also given a laptop for free. And the voucher is for the IT Fundamentals certification done through, like I said, CompTIA. So this certification, they study for it, they take it. Once they've passed it, then they can move into our apprenticeship program. And that is, we were the first registered cybersecurity apprenticeship program in Missouri and Illinois, and we were the 3rd in the country. So we have a long history of doing this and good success. In our apprenticeship program, you're going to work for a year of 40-hour work weeks. That works out to about 2,000 hours. Outside of work, you also have online curriculum that takes up about 11 hours a week. And this online curriculum prepares you to take 2 more certifications by CompTIA, the Security Plus and the Network Plus. The great thing about this program is you get paid while you're learning and training. The minimum starting salary is $15 an hour, but many companies choose to pay more than that. At the end of your apprenticeship program, you are given vouchers, again, for free to take the Security Plus and the Network Plus certifications. Once you've passed those 2 certifications, you are then prepared to enter the world of cybersecurity entry-level positions. In addition to those certifications, you also receive a United States Department of Labor Cybersecurity Journeyman Certificate for completing an apprenticeship. So this is how we get people into jobs. Now, here are some cybersecurity careers that people like to start out in. These are all entry-level jobs that can lead to cybersecurity careers. The first is a help desk. Help desk are the people that you call whenever you have a problem with your computer and you need help and you don't know what to do. Help desk is the technical support person that you call. And you can see the starting salary is around $40,000 for that. An IT security analyst, their starting salary is closer to 75 or in the 70s, in the low to mid 70s. This person does analysis of different logs and different network traffic and decides what needs to be done with that information. Then last is a cybersecurity analyst, and this person also analyzes data and information, but at a higher level and at a higher level of importance than the IT security analyst. And that starting salary you can see is around $80,000 a year. Some other entry-level roles that you can look into are systems engineer, systems administrator, web developer, IT technician, and security specialist. Now, security career options, there are entry-level jobs in cybersecurity, but they require training beyond a high school diploma. You don't necessarily have to have a college degree, but you do always have to have some type of certificate. And having an associate's or a bachelor's is also a good thing to have, but it's not necessary. And having an apprenticeship program behind you shows that you not only know how to do the work, but have been doing the work, have been trained by industry professionals, and you've earned all of those certifications that I talked about a few slides ago. So if you are interested in pursuing a career in cybersecurity, then you can look at these following roles. So the categories are securely provision, operate and maintain, oversee and govern, protect and defend, analyze, collect and operate, and investigate. And each of those categories has its own description and its own set of jobs that fall underneath that workforce category. You can research each of these categories and find out more information about them, and that can help you decide if cybersecurity is something that you might be interested in going into, and also help you decide what aspect of cybersecurity you want to study and you want to focus on for your job. So your mission is using Glassdoor.com, Indeed.com, or other job posting sites. Research one of the roles listed on the previous slides and find the average starting salary, the typical job duties, and what types of companies hire these roles. Then you'll put together a short presentation offline. Don't worry about using PowerPoint or anything like that, that highlights the above aspects of whichever job you chose to research. And then once you've done all this research and put together your presentation, you'll present your findings to your class. And here is a great website with a lot of the information that you will need to gather about your chosen cyber work role. Once you've gathered the info, your group will do the quick presentation showcasing the results of your research. And that website is blueprint4.com/careers. And once you're in that website, you can look at all sorts of different careers, but they do have a spotlight on information technology. So that's the rest of the email, or not the email, but the web address, blueprint4careers.com or blueprint4.com/careers/industry-spotlight-information-technology/. And this will give you a lot of information about your job that you've chosen and teach you things about entry-level cybersecurity occupations and help you decide if it's something that you want to go into. And that is the end of the slideshow today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed the presentation.